Big Paulie's World of Sports Sims presents the second part of the Birth of the Bolts series, the 1992 and 93 and beyond Tampa Bay Lightning. We are now on part two, and we're going to start with the game on November 1st, 1992, and in the next hour we'll probably get to a few more. So here's the schedule. When we left you after part one, we had won a game. We had won a game, lost two games. We started out with a 3-3 tie to Chicago, a 6-1 loss to Minnesota, and then a 2-1 loss to Chicago. Then, after the games you didn't see, we won a 5-3 game at St. Louis for the first ever Lightning regular season win. We lost a whole bunch of games after that. We lost 5 in a row, 6 in a row, and then we beat on October 28th Montreal 6-5. So we're still looking for our first home win after losing to fellow expansion team San Jose 3-2. So now I will show you the roster. I did make a roster move, and I traded Wendell Young to Minnesota, and I got John Casey, uh, who's been playing better at goal since. Actually, no, I take that back. He was 238 in Minnesota, the goals against average. Now he's 448. So another brilliant move by the host of this series that I've been doing. But if you've been following me on FHM 6, you know I am not a great hockey manager. So you know, maybe they should have a series to find the world's worst FHM player, and I'd probably be closer to that than anything. Um, so I traded for Casey, and Minnesota got Wendell Young, who was my goalie, and I probably should have kept Wendell. As you'll see here on the Minnesota roster, Young was 409 after 8 games. I traded for him, and he's 150 at 1.50 goal GAA with Minnesota, and his save percentage went way up. Uh, well, anyway, we're gonna play Pittsburgh. Of course, Pittsburgh has Super Mario Lemieux. He's their big center. Jaromir Jagr, not a bad player either. So we're going to AI the lines. We're going to continue on. But I'm an expansion team, so what do I expect? Tom Barrasso in goal for Pittsburgh. John Casey still wearing his face gen from the Minnesota Stars, North Stars. He will be in goal for the Tampa Bay Lightning, thanks to my ill-advised trade. We'll play the game, and let's drop the puck. Now, if you're new to FHM 7 or the FHM series I've been doing, they now have gone to 2D animation, and you're going to see the players move around fast. The reason why that is the animation on normal mode is a little slow, and when you go to fast mode, it goes a little fast. So it kind of looks like if you had set hockey on the Nintendo for fast. It's kind of what it looks like. The only thing's missing is that music that they had in the background. So far, 2.5 minutes into the game, no score. I believe this is at home for Tampa Bay at the Expo Hall. That little hockey arena that you see at the start of the video, that is the Expo Hall as we knew it in 92, 93. I personally went to a few games, and we have fighting. We have fisticuffs. Let's see what happened there. We had Alan Cote of the Lightning, a 5-minute fighting and a 10-minute misconduct, and Airy of Pittsburgh picks up 5 minutes. I did sign a few free agents until I had no more roster spots. So after the fracas, a little switcheroo at goal so Lemieux could drop the puck. He wears 66 on Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh in the white and Tampa Bay in the blue, I think. And Lemieux with a shot on goal saved by Casey. And we are 6 minutes into the game. And as I said, we'll try to play as many games as I can in an hour. The first game to end after the hour will be it. And then we will sim out November of 1992 with the Lightning 2-9. Again, Pittsburgh dominating the zone. They're getting a lot of good looks at the goal. "12 minutes 25 and a goal." Let's see who got it. Hammerlick, hammer time for the Lightning, and it's 1-0. And again, I don't know why the crowd's booing. It's your home team. You should be cheering. We'll take the 1-0 lead. Tampa Bay yet to win at home in their history, but they've only played 9 games. So how sweet it would be if they could get a win over Pittsburgh at home. And that's not going to happen just yet, as Paul Stanton with the assist from Jim Peak, or Paek, P-A-E-K. And 9:41 of the first period, and we're dead even at 1-1. First period of game number 10 for the Tampa Bay Lightning in their existence. Of course, Tampa Bay just got their 2021 season started, and the schedule they play is very odd because of COVID. They're playing series of games. There's a goal, and that was Mario Lemieux, Yager, and Fogarty on the assist, 2-1 in favor of Pittsburgh. You know Pittsburgh could just get a bunch of goals. This is back at a time where they were big time Stanley Cup contenders like every year. And they're struggling for the puck in the neutral zone. 6:50 now left first period. 2-1 in favor of the Penguins. Now it is 3-1 as Brian Fogarty gets an unassisted goal. Pittsburgh asserting their dominance with the 3-1 lead. Yeah, it probably wasn't the best thing to do to get John Casey, because Casey has not done well for me here in Tampa, and did well in Minnesota, and Young didn't do well in Tampa, but is doing well in Minnesota. So go figure that one. 3-1. And Pittsburgh very aggressive in the attacking zone. Maybe the reason why there's such disparity in the goalie in the goalie's stats is, maybe Tampa doesn't have a good defense. It's Kevin Stevens with a torn plantar fascia tendon. So that is against Pittsburgh, or to Pittsburgh's detriment, I should say. So 3-1 Pittsburgh, first period still. Let's see what happens. See if Tampa can get back in this game. The one difference in franchise hockey manager is you don't see the shot totals. You have to go look up the shot totals if you want to see them. Unsportsmanlike conduct against Mike Hartman of number 8. And he's one of our guys, so for that. 2 seconds left in the period, and that does it. And let's see here. Barrasso only gave up 6 shots. Casey has given up 12. So it's 12-6. You got to figure out the logic of who has gotten how many shots and why. So Pittsburgh has gotten 3 for 12 on their shots, and Tampa Bay has gone 1 goal for 6 shots. not counting what has already happened. It's interference against Mark Bergevin of Tampa Bay, so another power play situation here. Actually, it'll be 5-on-3 for 47 seconds. Another point of interest to the Tampa Bay season so far in real life is Rick Peckham retired in the offseason, and they have the guy from Vancouver doing their games, Ranford or Radford or something like that. And he did good last night. I was listening to his call. But of course, working in Vancouver, I'd imagine hockey is kind of like second nature up there, kind of like how baseball here is in the States. 15 and a half minutes gone by, or 15 and a half left in the second. It's 3-1 Pittsburgh still. Tampa Bay will have a lot of work to do during the season and perhaps in the draft in '93. And now Tampa Bay on the attack. 12:42 now left in the second. Another hard shot saved by Casey, or at least deflected off of him. And Tampa looking for that goal to get within one, and there it is. Roman Hammerlick with his second of the day. So that's 2 for him today. Even though his game rating is just a 49, he has 2 goals. And it's 3-2 in favor of Pittsburgh. So the next goal here will be somewhat critical, even though we're not halfway through the game yet. Tampa Bay put together a home win for the first time. Their 2 wins coming on the road. High sticking against Rob Ramage of Tampa Bay. So he goes to the sin bin for 2 minutes. And Pittsburgh will be on the old power play. Pittsburgh on defense. Tampa Bay tries to push it up. Another shot from a long distance. Barrasso held on to it. Face off. In the Tampa Bay zone. Cleared. Here's Mario Lemieux. Almost 7.5 now left second period. We'll see what happens here. Recording this the 16th of January 2021. Football playoffs for today getting started. Green Bay and the Rams. Buffalo and Baltimore later. And then the Bucs play tomorrow, which I'm obviously looking forward to. Living here in the Tampa Bay area. Hoping Tom Brady can get it done up over in New Orleans. That's a big matchup that, everybody in the football world will be watching tomorrow night on Fox. 3 minutes, 50 seconds now left. Second period, a 3-2 Pittsburgh lead. Barrasso working his Barrasso off, saving these shots as Tampa Bay has been on the attack a little bit more in the second. Tampa Bay trying to clear their defensive zone. They do. And Barrasso again freezing the puck. Face off again. They keep it in the Tampa Bay zone, but a penalty fighting. And we have another Donnybrook here. It was Samuelson. Joe Rickey getting into it, and Rickey picks up the 10-minute misconduct. So, not good for Tampa Bay. This game getting a little chippy and scrappy. The Expo Hall in Tampa, I might have mentioned this in the first episode. First team they ever hosted was the USF basketball team. They were building a dome stadium as we have ended the second period with a score of 3-2. Tampa Bay with 14 shots, and now Pittsburgh at 18, looking at the save totals. Men's basketball for the University of South Florida was the first big attraction, and over the years they've had a lot of professional wrestling cards at the Expo Hall, but this was the only year Tampa Bay played at the Expo. They moved in Season 2 to the Dome, which is now Tropicana Field. They were calling it at the time the Florida Suncoast Dome, then they called it the Thunderdome for a bit, tripping against Bob Airy. So Tampa Bay goes on a power play. Tampa Bay in this 92-93 campaign, or at least as I'm running it through FHM 7, they got a tie in the first game, but they haven't won a game yet. And a face-off in the zone. There's a shot on goal, and Barrasso throws the puck. Down to about 10 seconds left in the power play. Another stoppage of play. Another couple of good shots there by Tampa. Struggle in front of the goal. And the power play ending, and both teams at even strength with 15:56 to go. Now another face-off in the Tampa Bay zone. And a goal! We're tied, 3-3. Igor Larionov, assist by Bergevin and Berglund at 4:28 of the third, and we're dead even at 3-3. So we'll show you some of these games from November of 92. We will sim the rest, and that's a slashing penalty against Paul Stanton, giving Tampa Bay a power play with 14:39 now left third period. So it's got to be encouraging for the Lightning fans that they're hanging with the Pittsburgh Penguins. Definitely no slouches in the NHL at this point. And it's booking against Stavjana, Stavajana. Oh, I better leave that alone, Paulie. That's against Pittsburgh, so Tampa Bay will have 5-on-3 for 22 seconds, and then 5-on-4 for a minute 38. A couple of good shots there by the Lightning. And it cleared the zone, so Tampa Bay will have to regroup offensively. And a goal, and Tampa Bay takes the lead, 4-3. Michael Mongeau, assist by DeMino and Crom. And it's a 4-3 Tampa Bay lead. Can they hang on and get their first win ever at home? At least in the regular season. I think they won some preseason games at home, but you all didn't see that. 10:45 left. Odd man rush by Pittsburgh, but the shot was saved and the puck was frozen. Face off in the Pittsburgh zone. Tampa Bay trying to clear the zone, they do. $8:54 left. Another shot, another save. Here come the Lightning. They'd love to get an insurance goal here, I'm sure, this late in the third period. And this is back in the era when they played a 5-minute overtime, sudden death overtime, with both teams at full strength to see if a win could be achieved. Otherwise, the game would be a tie. This is before they went to the shootout business, which I'm not a big fan of. Tripping against DeMaio, and he is number 18 on Tampa Bay. So a power play to Pittsburgh with 6:39 now left, third period. Hard shot against Barrasso. It's behind the net. And now here comes Pittsburgh. Shot. Save. Now Tampa Bay back with it. Another shot and a save. About 4 minutes now left, third period. Can Tampa Bay hold on and get the win here? So far, so good, and icing. So the puck will go to the Tampa Bay zone. 2:45 now left. Lemieux, save. Or at least deflected away from the goal. Kind of hard to tell sometimes what has happened. Minute 45. Pittsburgh going to pull their goalie. Boarding major against Jonas Bergquist, and he is with Tampa Bay. So that is not a good penalty. That's a 5-minute penalty. But there's only a minute 26 left to go. So basically it's 6-on-4 if they pulled the goalie. Last 30 seconds. Crossman gives it up. And that's it. The Lightning win for the first time ever at home. The final being 4-3. How about that? 3 stars of the game, Hammerlick of Tampa Bay, 2 goals. Fogarty of Pittsburgh, a goal and an assist. Bergevin of Tampa Bay with 1 assist. So there you go. Tampa Bay getting a win. 3-2. I'm sorry, 4-3. They go to 3-9-1. So we move on. And we're going to play probably 2 more games. No further action needed against Tampa Bay's Bergquist. The boarding penalty that he picked up. Board confidence update. Kubo. Yeah, they had a Japanese owner. There was a Japanese owner of the Lightning, at least the first few years. Thinks that the season is disappointing so far. You really need to improve the team. The performance in the last few weeks confirms the impression. Your record is now 3-8-2. Despite the bad performance this season in general, Kubo is satisfied with your work as general manager of the Lightning, and he thinks you are able to bring the team back on track. Mark Bureau not far from returning. Okay, that's good. So we go on to our next game, which will be St. Louis. St. Louis comes to town. Coach reports on new players. Your staff has informed you that the following players are having some difficulty adjusting to the team. Serious adjustment issues may require several more months to adjust. Peter Breza, still getting used to the team. Aaron Gavi, Brant Myris, Steve Ruchin, and Derek Wilkinson, rapidly adjusting, should be comfortable very soon. Drew Bannister, Jonas Bergquist, Igor Larionov, Andrei Tarasenko, and Konstantin Astrakanistev, something like that. Okay. So on to St. Louis. We will be playing them at home since it's versus St. Louis and not at St. Louis. Let's drop the puck and get this going. Curtis Joseph in goal for St. Louis. John Casey in goal for the Lightning. Brett Hall, 12 games and 13 goals, 12 assists, and a plus-minus of 6. Doug Crossman, 1 goal, 4 assists, and 5 points. Tampa Bay has 36 goals and has given up 54. St. Louis 47 and 59. So drop the puck and let's get this puppy started. Game number 2 on this video. So St. Louis coming into Tampa Bay. And maybe the Lightning can come together a little bit. After the win over Pittsburgh, and Pittsburgh, as I was saying earlier, no slouches. So this is game number... We had only won 2, but I think we may have played more than 11 games by now. So no score, nothing has happened yet. I believe Tampa Bay is the blue team and St. Louis is the white. Speaking of white, Betty White's birthday tomorrow. She turns 99. still with us, thank goodness. Although I was reading an article that she's in quarantine thanks to good old COVID, which I say sarcastically. Face off in the St. Louis zone. Betty White's been on TV almost as long as TV has been around since after the Second World War. Janny holding, and Janny is a St. Louis Blues, so that's a power play for Tampa Bay. We have 6:38 gone by in the opening period. No score. Maybe I skipped over a game by accident. I don't know. I didn't see any. So this is my plan, at least at each session I do a franchise hockey manager, is to bring you a month of games, or at least the start of the new month of games, and then recap you on the next part as to what happened the rest of the month. And we have fighting. Oh, Bill Heward, number 82. He's got to be with St. Louis. Let's see who his dance partner was. It was Cote. 5 minutes for fighting. No misconduct. So Tampa Bay not afraid to scrap. As is the case in the NHL, you got to have a couple of guys who could fight or two. I know a lot of you in your youth probably played the NHL games on the Sega Genesis or the Super Nintendo. And a lot of people were so good at playing NHL, the NHL series from EA, that you could take a team like Tampa Bay and you could do well with them. Of course, there was that scene in I think it was a movie called Swingers with Vince Vaughn, where he and John Favreau and somebody else were playing the NHL hockey game one of the years, and took great pain in making Wayne Gretzky bleed. I think the character Vince Vaughn played was a Chicago Blackhawks fan. And yeah, there's that one scene. Oh, we're going to make Wayne Gretzky bleed. And it was upsetting kind of the nerdy guy of the bunch. 3.5 left in the first period. I think it was Swingers. Somebody will correct me if I'm mistaken about that scene from that movie. But I've seen it so many times on YouTube. I'm guessing I'm correct about it being Swingers. 2 minutes to go. It's still no score between St. Louis and Tampa Bay. A couple of hard shots to Casey, but neither can find the goal. Lightning trying to push it past the St. Louis defense, being very stout. Now St. Louis with it in the Tampa Bay zone. There's a shot that went wide left. And 5-minute major for fighting Murray Barron. So it's getting chippy. And we will see who he fought with. Because if you can't have one fighting penalty without another. Mike Hartman of Tampa Bay. So we'll return you to the game, and these guys can't stop fighting. Eventually, you got to play a hockey game one of these days, and that's it for the first period. No score between St. Louis and Tampa Bay in the second game. In this video that I am doing here, 29:10 gone by, so we're about halfway through it. Might get 4 games in, and if we do, we do. And a struggle in the neutral zone, nobody attacking. And there's a face-off just outside the blue line. Neither team has scored yet. And right now, okay, we got a tripping penalty against Jeff Brown of St. Louis. By the way, the shots are 8 for Tampa Bay and 11 for St. Louis right now. So we'll drop the puck and resume, and Tampa Bay has a power play of 1:33. They're asking how that happened. Slashing against Brandon Shanahan of St. Louis, so we go to 5-on-3. I thought we were going to 5-on-3. What's happening with the penalties here, guys? 23 seconds left in the power play. The Rams-Packers playoff game just got started, by the way. At least in real time as I'm recording this. 14 and a half left to go, second period. And what do we have here? A little dump and chase. St. Louis trying to clear the zone. They do. Now they're attacking, but they can't keep it in the zone. So it goes to the neutral zone, and now St. Louis on the attack again. Another save by Casey. No score about midway through the game. I think the NHL went from being very offensive in the 80s to like being very defensive in the 90s. Hammerlick for slashing. He'll go off for 2. And St. Louis gets the power play. It kind of, the animation kind of looks like Nintendo hockey and air hockey. Something between the two. I had an air hockey table. I got it for Christmas one year. And then you got to remember, this was before Tampa had a hockey team. I'm like, what are you doing giving me an air hockey table? I said to my parents, and my parents sold the air hockey table. Because you can't play the game by yourself. You got to have 2 people playing hockey. I guess this is right, Christmas of like 80 or 81. This was not too far after the U.S. won the gold medal in the Olympic hockey. But I think I said in my kiddie kind of way, what are you doing giving me a hockey table? And a goal. There we go. That's the sound effect that we're looking for. Bergevin assisted from Cole and Larionov at 6:26 left in the first period. So Bergevin gets the Lightning on the board. That's the air horn we've been looking for. I don't know how that happened, that it got fixed on its own, but it did. We'll take it. I'm happy to hear the air horn. 5:49. So the Lightning looking to put back-to-back wins together. Under 5 left to go in the second. It's holding against Rick Zombo. Number 4 for St. Louis. So again, Tampa Bay on the power play with 15:33 gone by. And a 2-minute minor, unsportsmanlike, against Stanton Cole of Tampa Bay. Or is it Cole? Yeah, they have a Cote on their team. He wears number 5. And a Cole, which I'm sure confused the Tampa Bay fans. Interesting that Tampa got a hockey team before Miami did. The Florida Panthers, who played in Miami originally, now they play in Broward County, which is Fort Lauderdale. Another goal! Bergquist, assist by Anderson, and it's 2-0 Tampa Bay. Keep playing those horns, fellas. So Tampa Bay has putting the team together, and they're looking for back-to-back wins. which would be another first for the Lightning franchise, at least as I play it here in Franchise Hockey Manager. And we've played 2 periods. Joseph, 16 saves, so Tampa Bay has 16 shots, and so does Casey, so both teams are even on shots at 16 apiece. So let's see what Tampa Bay can do with that 2-0 lead, see if they can add on it. $18:20 left to go. And that is hooking against Greg Janney, number 15 for St. Louis. So 2:06 now gone by. Third period, a 2-0 Lightning lead. Can they put together back-to-back wins? We will see. But St. Louis is one of those teams that can score and score quickly. Unsportsmanlike conduct against Paul Calavini, or Cavallini. And he goes to the sin bin for 2 minutes. And Tampa Bay will have a 5-on-3 for a minute 28. Love to see them get another goal here and go 3 up, but there's that guy in Canada that says, hey, 3-0 lead is a 3-goal lead is the most dangerous lead in hockey. Nearly happened in real life to Tampa Bay last night against Chicago. They were up 3-0. Chicago cut it to 3-2 before Tampa Bay found the afterburners and won 5-2 in the second game of the 2021 season. We're a little farther back in time with this game. It's still 2-0 Tampa. And here come the Lightning. Okay. I went to a game at the Thunderdome, 93-94. It's unsportsmanlike conduct against Korolev, who was with St. Louis, so another power play of Tampa Bay. I met Dick Griffin. Now, outside of Tampa Bay, you're not going to know who he is, but he was the longtime sports guy with a couple of the stations here in Tampa Bay, tripping against Jason Lafreniere, who is with Tampa, so it's going to be even streak for minute 25. He's now with the Tampa Bay Rays media office. And a couple of shots, and Casey playing very well tonight. 2-0. It's 4-on-4 for about 20 seconds, but Dick Griffin was with Channel 10 and then he was with Channel 8 here in the Tampa Bay area, in case you were wondering. And he started in the Tampa Bay area going back to the 60s, and he also worked for a few of the radio stations here in Tampa Bay, doing sports reports for them, and I sticking against Larry Onoff, wearing 61, so now St. Louis to the power play, 8:55 left in the third period. $8:30 left to go. Back before Tampa had any franchises, wrestling was big here. Before the Bucks came in '76, and if you watch sports on the news, the sports reports on the news, it was all basically golf and fishing before then, and the top sports person on the news was a guy by the name of Salty Saul Fleischman, and he was well known for his fishing reports. And when he retired in 74 or 75, the other stations sent their sports anchors to be present at his retirement. Interference against Joe Recchi. And it brings us to a power play for St. Louis, but they need 2 goals. They're down to under 5 minutes. Can they get one? Okay, now you're cheering the St. Louis goals. Janney assisted from Brown and Shanahan. See, I'd rather hear the horn than hear the boos. So it's 2-1. Can St. Louis get back in the game and get something out of it? Now, there were only three network stations back here at the time. There was 8, 10, and 13. There was Channel 44, and then which was an independent, and there was Channel 3 that was PBS, and Channel 16 that was kind of quasi PBS that just carried stuff for the University of South Florida. Channel 38 was still on the air when I was born, but it soon vanished from the airwaves. Of course, there's now a Channel 38 again. It's an indie station. It's been around since the 90s, but 38 was the first station in the Tampa Bay area, but when the other UHF stations came, the VHF stations came, they were downhill fast. And it's 2-1 Tampa Bay with back-to-back wins for the first time in franchise history. Bergevin, a star. Shanahan, a goal, one assist for another star. And Hammerlick picks up the assist and gets a star. So the Lightning have now picked up 4 points in 2 games. They're 9 points, and the record is now at November 3rd, 1992, 4-9-1. So we're making progress. Brandon Shanahan extending his point streak to 13 in the game we just showed you, but they couldn't get the win. Suspension to Edmonton's Jennings, not Ken Jennings, Grant Jennings. He of Jeopardy fame. Brian Bradley looks like he may have recovered. And we're now going to Washington to play the Capitals in game number 3. Gilmore of the Toronto Maple Leafs hurt in a game against the Blackhawks, expected to be missing 6 months. Collided with the goal. Oh, that's not good. So he would be back in May if the Blackhawks make the playoffs. Not the Blackhawks, but the Maple Leafs. And we're getting Konstantin Astrakanstev back. I don't know how you say his name. So here we go, Tampa Bay and Washington, and this will probably be our last game of this part of the series, because we're at 43 minutes now. It's John Casey and Don Beaupre in goal for the Capitals. If you watched my Hartford Whalers series, I picked them up in a draft. In one of the drafts for Hartford. So now, in this reality, he is with the Caps. Brian Bradley back on the ice, 12 games played, 5 goals, 3 assists. Dale Hunter, 13 games played, 4 goals, 1 assist. Casey has a .910 save percentage, and Beaupre at .898. So we are up at Landover, Maryland, at the old Capitol Center for this game between the Lightning and the Caps. Tampa Bay in white, and of course Washington would be in the red. Capitals have not been a very good hockey team over the years. They won the Stanley Cup a couple of years ago, finally, tripping against Mike Ridley. Of course, that was the year that Las Vegas made it all the way to the finals. So Ridley to the sin bin, and the Lightning now with a 2-minute power play. So all you out-of-towners now know the tale of Salty Saul Fleischman. And let's see here, tripping against Bergevin, so Tampa Bay kind of couldn't keep prosperity going. Washington on the power play for 2 minutes. When they expanded to Washington, the NHL did in the 70s, I think they had a year where they didn't even win 10 games. And there's a goal, and that is Dmitry Kristich, number 9 for Washington. So it's 1-0 in favor of the Caps. In real time, Green Bay leading 3-0 against the Rams in the first quarter. But when you see this, the score will most likely be different. So if my math is right, this is the 15th game of the Lightning. I had misspoke when I said that the first game was the 11th, so I think we're up around 15 games now. Very impressed with how the Lightning have played these past 2 games, so I figure Washington might bring them down to earth a little bit. What a year in 2017-2018 the Golden Knights of Las Vegas had, being an expansion team and making the finals. Cote called for interference, so the Caps will get a power play here. I'm sorry, it was against Washington. So maybe there's a Cole or a Cote on for Washington. They nearly get a shorthanded goal there. .850 left in the first period. Tampa Bay trying to equalize. They trail by 1. Unsportsmanlike conduct against Mike Hartman. So we go 4-on-4 for 5 minutes, and then Washington gets on a power play for 5 seconds, and then Washington had the power play for 1:55, which is about half over already, because that's how fast the game moves. Beaupre holding that puck, so will be a face-off in the Tampa Bay zone. To the left of Beaupre. I knew the Washington Capitals because in middle school I read Warner Wolf's autobiography. Warner Wolf was better known for being a New York sportscaster, although he had a stint doing the Monday Night Baseball on ABC back before they put Howard Cosell on it. They were trying to develop something without Howard. They had at one point Bob Prince, Warner Wolf, and Bob Uecker. But by the end of the first season, they said no, that wasn't working out for them, so they put Keith Jackson on the games with Howard Cosell. That's true. I read Warner Wolf's autobiography back in middle school because my parents were from New York, and my relatives would tell me, you're so much into sports, you should watch. You ever heard of Warner Wolf? I said, no, I haven't heard of Warner Wolf. Well, And so I read Warner Wolf's autobiography. And he was the sportscaster for a couple of New York stations, if I'm not mistaken, WCBS, and then I think we worked for another station later. Okay, 1-0 Washington after 20, so we'll just keep on going here. Trying to figure out what was the station he worked with other than WCBS. Pat Yolnick, maybe WNBC, I don't know. Hooking. So that is a 2-minute power play to Tampa. And it's 1-0 in favor of Washington still early in the second period. But Warner was, before he got his big breaks in New York, of course, he was close to the late Don Imus, and he happened to be on the air right around the time 9/11 happened, hooking against Cote. So let's see what that does to the penalty situation. 5-on-3 for 22 seconds. Oi! And Warner eventually retired to Florida. Kelly Miller for cross-checking. So it's now 5-on-3 for 1:30. Last time I heard Warner Wolf in the news, he was raising hell with. He's retiring in Florida, and he was raising hell with one of these many homeowners associations in Southwest Florida. I think he lives down by Fort Myers, Naples area of Southwest Florida. So we're kind of in a dull stretch right now with the game. Should be the last game we do today. And then I will sim the rest of the games for November. And when we come back and do this again, we'll do December's first few games. Bob Prince. Now that's another name. Was the Pittsburgh Pirates broadcaster. I think he also did a little hockey for Pittsburgh. Did not have didn't have the Penguins until the late '60s. So the first expansion that they did from 6 to 12, and I think it was '67, '68ish or so. But I think he did some Penguins hockey. I know he did minor league hockey for a while. Fighting penalty against Mark Hutman. Here we go again. Let's get ready to rumble. Let's see what happened, who he was fighting with. He was fighting with Pat Ellenuk, who picked up a 5-minute fighting and a 10-minute misconduct. So Tampa Bay not afraid to scrap with anybody, which kind of makes me like them all the more. I don't think anybody's going to confuse them with the Broad Street Bullies of Philadelphia back in the 70s, but I love to see an expansion team say to these other NHL teams, "Hey, you're not going to push us around." So I guess on that vein, that's good to do, or good to know. 7.5 minutes gone left to go in the second period, actually. A little fight behind the goal. Tampa Bay, the beneficiary of it. They try to keep it in their zone, but it's swatted away. 6 minutes left in the second. See what else is there. Tampa Bay trying to get that equalizer. They've played well against Washington, and unsportsmanlike against Kelly Miller. It's not too hard to pick up the names, at least as I see this on the monitor. So that's a 2-minute penalty to Washington, Tampa Bay on the power play, but they might have given it right up as Adam Creighton gets called for interference. Terry Crisp, who is the first head coach of the Lightning, is probably yelling obscenities at the officials as we speak. And I don't coach in this scenario. I am the general manager, and that's it. And I only do a handful of things. I trade, I react to trades, and I draft. I think anything other than that, I wouldn't know what the hell I would be doing. Wonder if anybody's got a curling game like Franchise Hockey Manager out there. If anybody would have it, it would probably be Roberto Chavini. And there's a goal for Washington. Sylvain Cote, assisted by Mark Hunter and Kalle Johansson. And it is 2-0 in favor of Washington. I wish the game would fix the sound effects. You know, why would you boo a home team getting a goal, and why would you cheer a road team getting a goal? You know, it's a little disconcerting. And maybe it can be fixed fixed without the game having to fix it or Steam having to fix it. So we've played 40, 20 to go, and it's 2-0 in favor of Washington. Casey with 19 shots on him, and he has saved all but 2, and Beaupre with a clean sheet, 16 saves. No goals surrendered, so Beaupre doing better than Casey is. So can Tampa Bay get back in this? Next goal will be key. And that is we had another scrap. 5-minute fighting penalty against Hartman. And he picked up the misconduct and he fought Iafrate. Now that's a name I remember. I can't pronounce it well, but I remember it. So I hope you're enjoying this hour of hockey. We're bringing you here on FHM 7 and the Tampa Bay Lightning of 92-93. They were a pretty good team at home, Tampa Bay was. Or at least I remember it that way. They won like about 25 games or so the expansion year, and by 95, 96, they were in the playoffs. So for the first time, of course, you know, with my luck, I moved to Marietta, Georgia in 1996, and that was the year Tampa Bay made the playoffs for the first time, hooking against Hatcher. So I think that's the Tampa Bay power play coming up. Let's get a goal, guys. There you go. That is Danton Cole, assisted by Sean Chambers and Mikael Anderson. And just like that, it is 2-1. If we can find one goal, we could find another. $14 and a half gone by. If I were OOTP Developments, I would have an option in this game to play the games the old way. FHM 6 with no graphics. You know, it is a step up to have graphics in the game, but I wonder if there are people out there that liked it the way it was, where it wasn't, you know, it was all text and it wasn't an animation situation. Because when I was playing FHM 6, I could play these games in 15 minutes, whereas with the animation, it takes about 20. Midway through the third period, almost midway through, 10:44 left, slashing against Rob Ramage of Tampa Bay. So Washington now with a chance to go 2 up. And there they get it. You see it there, Pavanka, Iafrate, and Kirstich, with Pavanka getting the goal, which sounds like the name of the daughter of our outgoing president. Oh, Tampa Bay, quick answer. Adam Creighton again. I think that's his second on the day. No, it was his first. It was Cole that picked up the other one. Bergquist and Ramage. And it's 3-2, so Tampa Bay proving their worth as an expansion team. Not going to win every night, but I think I'm putting together a good team here eventually. So still 3-2. Ottawa was the other expansion team that came in this year of 92-93. Ottawa's still looking for their first Stanley Cup. And I'm not talking of the old-time days of hockey. I'm talking about the expansion team of 92-93 onward. Of course, Ottawa's won a few Grey Cups over the years with the Rough Riders, and now they have a team called the Red Blacks. Of course, the CFL didn't play at all last year thanks to COVID. Unsportsmanlike conduct against John Slaney of Washington, so now 5:14 left, and Tampa Bay getting a power play that could tie this game. The puck goes into the defensive zone of Tampa Bay, so now they got to bring it up and set up their offense. 4:20 left to go. And now Washington wins the face-off. Trying to get another goal, they do. And that is Kristich, assisted by Kalle Johansson, 4-2 Caps. So Tampa Bay is going to be a day late and a dollar short, we're thinking. Or I'm thinking, anyway. You might be thinking it, watching it. 2:45 left. I don't think Tampa Bay would pull their goalie down 2. Under 2 minutes to go. Down to the last minute. What will be the last game of this video, as we have just crossed the hour mark. Get a full hour of hockey with each and every edition of this Birth of the Bolt series. This game is over. Stick a fork in it. It's done. It's 4-2. Washington winning. So Washington will get 2 points. Kristich, the star of the game, 2 goals and an assist. One of these days I'm going to break out a Kenny Mayne and go assist. Jonas Bergquist, 1 assist, and Kalle Johansson with 2. So we will end this part at 4:10-1. See if there was any news. Constantine, ready to go. And we will see you in December. Well, at least December of 1992 when we repick this up. I'll sim a whole bunch of games, and we will get back to it sometime in the next week. So I hope you enjoyed yourselves here on this second part of the Birth of the Bolts. This has been Big Polly coming to you, wishing you well, no matter where you are when you see this, or where you are when you see this. Bye-bye for now, everybody.